There's been more maiming and torture and cruelty in the name of religion. And I'm not saying that's what the original light beings that came here spoke or meant or intended. Any of the beings down through the millions and millions of years that were beings of great light that came forward, I think if they came back and saw what was being said, done, and taught in their name, they would want to obliterate it. It's a mess, but it gives us opportunities for choice. Can we not begin to look at Earth, if not like a play at the cinema, if not like an adventure, which I think it is, but can we not begin to look at it then as a schoolroom? Well, what do you have to fear in a schoolroom, for goodness sake? A rap on the knuckles with a ruler is about as bad as it'll get. Come on. The whole fear thing, too, is because we've identified too much with the physical form. And we think it's real. It's not. Remember, atoms are empty space. You fit in a thimble. Hello. Although that's not you. That's your body. The physical substance of a human body, solid substance, fits in a thimble with room to spare. Okay, so identifying with this, it's just something we did. It was just a choice that we made. But I think it's time to start stepping back from that. Now, I want to try out some ideas here. I'm just going to float them and see how I feel about them. First of all, when we're saying don't bring in light from outside, you have all the light within you that you will ever need. I'm going to break that down. And I'm going to say, yes, I contain all of cosmos within me, beginning and end of story. So do you. So do we all. I contain all that is. So within self is all that is needed. And that's true. But I'm also going to say it's an illusion that there's an inside and an outside. Be in heart for this. Be in heart with this. There is no outside. What you see when you look around you is a projection of you. This is your creation. This is what you've manifested, and it's talking to you. But in reality, it is you. So there really is no outside. The sticking point for a lot of people comes with accepting that they've created anything that's at all dark. And that's kind of funny. I would give you a big hint that that's ego that thinks it always has to be right and couldn't ever do anything wrong. If we stay in heart with this, and let's just say everybody's had 1,000 lifetimes, which is ridiculously small, but just for a leveling out thing. If we've all had 1,000 lifetimes, I can tell you now, we're curious critters, aren't we? And we've explored the dark side as well as the light. How else are you going to learn? There's no evil judgmental God up there or out there that's going to throw you into some burning pit forever because you goof. All right? Can we please get over this stuff? That's what the churches have, at the highest levels, have manipulated the scriptures to be. The little people in all the various religions are just fine. As long as you don't lose your integrity, as long as you don't lose your heart connection, and you're tied to your own inner being, which is divine, you're going to be fine with whatever religion you're in. I don't have anything against any of them. For me, at this point in my walk, that's not the highest way. And I'm playing with the idea, well, the Andromedans say that mankind I think they said about 400 years ago, had actually outgrown all of the religions, but they just didn't realize it yet, and they were afraid to let go. Sounds good to me. I don't know. Okay, now this thing with pulling light in from the outside, I think it's kind of sad because what it does is it walls us all off from one another. When I speak here, I serve you. There's a light that shines through, that radiates. And a lot of you feel that. And you take it in, and it's a blessing, and it's a benefit, and it will give you strength and uplift you. Simply because it's at a certain frequency that's a higher frequency than what you find when you turn on the boob tube, etc. You know, it all gets down to physics. There's no woo-woo here. And our science, the best of it is hidden from us because we're not meant to know these things. You know, we're meant to be forever pitted against one another and living in fear. Well, I hope there are some raw materials here for you, some tools to contemplate. I'm not saying to believe a tootin' thing that I'm saying. I'm just laying some things out there and saying, contemplate, meditate, just be in your heart and observe, and try these ideas on. We've got to get over our fear of new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of looking at things. There is no judgmental God. That's one of the things that we've been kept in our place with. We mustn't step out of line, you know, or some terrible thing will happen. You're not going to step out of line. You're a divine being. You're the one drawing the line. You wouldn't go kill somebody. You wouldn't do anything terrible. What is to fear? All right, now so if we're afraid of bringing light in from outside of ourselves, I have to reject that because I am the larger self, and there's light flowing all over the place. You know, it's an antakarana, it's a network, and flow is the name of the game. Would we stop the flow? Would we say, blessing of light, stop right there? You mustn't come near me, you know? I have everything I need inside, so blessing, you go away. Now that's a choice. That's a legitimate choice that can be made. And I'm still pondering it. I haven't found any kind of ultimate answer or answer that feels totally right here. I have found the ways and the reasons, or some of them, that I tend to reject this. But I don't know. You know, I'm just a regular Jane, walking my walk and having a blast with it. There is so much joy that's available all the time. It's really hard sometimes. I mean, I have been going through such pain with this body that it's incredible. And okay, when I'm in the midst of that pain, that's not the very most joyous moment of my existence. But I'm not the body, and it's the body that's in pain, don't you see? And so even though, see, the body has its own issues, its own tendencies, its own everything. But that's not you, and you're not limited to it any more than I am. So, my friends, even in the midst of whatever the body's going through, there is a tremendous underlying joy that is accessible to you. Step into heart. See you again soon. Sorry for going on long.